Hi, this is Frank Fantini. Today we continue our series of emerging companies with the founder and CEO of Traffic Gen, as it's called for short, Andy Caras Altas. And Andy, welcome.
Thank you very much.
And tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and where you intend to go.
Well, we are a Las Vegas and Gibraltar-based company, and we like to think that we're on the very leading edge of what we call convergence marketing technology. So that's the convergence between land-based and digital gaming, the convergence between digital marketing channels and conventional land-based channels. And we've tried to put together a technology suite that is both innovative and also very familiar. So we've brought together the equivalent of 5 or 6 different systems, and we've put them all in one place. And the idea is that we will empower casinos to be able to leverage their brands in the digital space rather than being exposed to isolated digital products.
There's lots of folks out here who are saying very similar things, that they've got software, they're going to drive traffic to, digitally to casinos and cross-market and all of those other things. What makes you different?
Well, I think it's because fundamentally we don't do that particular thing. We put tools in the hands of casinos that enable them to retain their customers better, to leverage the power of a digital platform, to actually give a casino a purpose, which is something that can be quite challenging for people who are not familiar with digital gaming. And we enable them to take a single customer view across their entire business and understand the true value of that. And so what that really means at the end of the day is they have a comprehensive marketing toolkit that will work across all aspects of their business, in property and out, and will make sense of that digital space.
You said you give them a tool.
That's correct.
You give them a number of tools, I know, because you have a suite of products. But can you describe, say, one of them so we can get a better idea?
So we take a big data platform, the same kind of technology that LinkedIn or Facebook would use, albeit on a much smaller scale. And then on top of that, we place a series of marketing tools. So for example, we use artificial intelligence robots to scamper around social networks and gather information about conversations that are taking place with gamblers in the United States. We then capture that information, we analyze the emotional content, and we add that to gaming transactional data that you'd get from a casino management system or a loyalty system. And what that gives you is a holistic view of the customer. So not only do you know how they play, how you acquired them, and how you're engaging with them from a loyalty point of view, you also know how they feel about you. And so emotional state can change before gambling behavior can change.
So are these individual customers? In other words, is it me, if I'm a customer of Venetian here of Las Vegas Sands, and I have a Las Vegas Sands player card, and I come to this casino to play, and I go online to a social gaming site, are you following me on that site?
What we do is we go to communities. And there are vast communities across the internet of gamblers who come together and they talk to each other in an open space, and it's full public disclosure. And they are sharing their experiences with each other,
right,
positive and negative. And we are observing those conversations and we're studying them. And then we're adding that back to the customer data. We look at it at a group level and on an individual basis where there's permission to do that from the customer. And then we add in things like a CRM system that uses all of this intelligence about the customers to actually have a simple to use but highly powerful CRM engine. Because CRM can be very complex, especially for smaller properties. So we make that process very, very simple. And we extend it into tournament management across property and into digital space, and also key account management, player development tools. So it's a range of different things.
And is the software, the suite of products, are they proprietary to you? Do you have IP on them?
We have patents pending on a couple of pieces on that, but a lot of it is also in the public domain.
Okay. How old is your company, and do you have customers yet?
That's a really good question. So we were formed at the beginning of 2012. We launched our first products at the end of Q2 2012, and we do have customers, fortunately. We're rolling out aggressively now in the United States. We have a small number of customers, primarily land-based casinos in North America, and also social and digital gaming companies as well.
Any that you can name?
We work with the Casinos Austria Group. It's probably the best known one. And We work in New Jersey on the affiliate side with people like iGaming Player, and then some of the biggest systems operators as well. And our casino rollout is happening right now. Make a big announcement at the end of the show for both route properties and also some quite significant ones as well.
Okay, very good. Now, when we were doing a little bit of exchanging of notes so that we would be able to prepare for this, one of the questions you wanted to ask is, does the industry today have the ability to do what you do? So that's your question, so I'll let you answer it.
Well, the convergence of digital and land-based businesses is unclear and it's challenging. And we have suppliers providing digital casinos with no real pitch on how to use them and what actually the function of these things should be, if we put aside New Jersey and Nevada and Delaware. And then you drop those kind of digital products and also digital marketing channels and say to someone, let's do social, because it's hugely viral and it's very cost effective, into marketing departments that haven't necessarily responded to those changes. Right. And so I think one of the challenges the industry has is actually leveraging these new technologies. And we want to make that easier, but it's certainly a challenge for us as well. Explain to people who are very new to this kind of thing.
Right, I understand that. Anything else we should know about traffic, Jen, Andy?
I think that we are kind of the banner child for convergence. And there's lots of talk about it, and there's lots of things that people are confused about. But I think certainly we want to see over the next 12 months, in addition to hyper-growth and capturing all the market share and being the undisputed leader, which we'd love to be, is also a step change in how casinos actually engage with their customers, how they communicate with them, and to start to build a one-to-one dialogue, which has been quite difficult to do with traditional means. So at the end of 12 months, we hope to see a very different marketplace.
Final question is, our core client is the investor. And investors obviously are interested in what they can invest in, as well as the competitive impact that private companies may have on the market. Do you have a long-term exit strategy? Do you eventually sell, or do you need to raise money and maybe tap the public markets at some point?
At the moment, we don't have a plan for raising any funds. We've been profitable for a considerable length of time, and our growth has been organic, and we think that the market's growing rapidly enough, and we're at the head of it, that we can do that without having to go to the markets. However, in terms of exit, it's difficult to see beyond capturing that market share, but if we assume that we are successful, then I think we will probably see a trade sale as the desired exit route. I'm not sure that going public would be suitable for a small company like ours. Right. But we've got to get to owning the market first before we even think about that kind of stuff.
Okay, very interesting, Andy. Thank you.
Great meeting you.